Morning kings and queens, Lynn's here with another art tutorial for you guys. Now, I can't teach you how to grow an awesome mohawk, but I can teach you how to draw Sid from the internet, and that's what we're doing today. So I like to use Microsoft Paint because it's a free program. I always start out with a 600 by 600 pixel canvas, and I use the calligraphy pen tool a lot. I'm also drawing on the XP Pen G640, which I got for pretty cheap online. Links in the description. So right here, we're going to start with the shape of the head. We're going to try to get it nice and round on the sides here. Feel free to, use the undo button, take as many tries as it takes to get the perfect stroke. And so we got the shape of the temples, and now we're putting the curves for the ears here. And then we're putting the cheeks. Oh yeah, so in my last video, I was telling you guys about how I had to go to the hospital for surgery to get my finger sewn back on. If you wanted to hear more about that, go check out my Saba art tutorial. So yeah, luckily my surgery went well and I got my finger reattached, so I decided to go back home and relax since this past week had been really crazy for me. So I get to my apartment, unlock the door, and I go to grab the handle and open it, and there's dog poop on the handle. And I'm like, bro, what? And I hear someone have the audacity to start laughing at me from across the street. All right, so we got the shape of the head here. We're adding in the ears. Always try to make sure that the ears, look symmetrical. That's why I'm using the erase tool right here to make this one a little shorter. It was a little long. And we got the chin. And I'm kind of bringing down the chin a little further here because the face, it was a little short. And now we're going to add in the lines for the ears there. All right, that's all good. And I'm adding the lines on the side of the chin there. Kind of give it some definition. And now we're going to start on the lips. Oh, so where was I? Yeah, so come to find out, the laughing I heard from across the street was one of the neighbor's kids. So I guess he's like a wannabe prankster. So I'm like, all right, I'm guessing he's one of those bad kids whose parents didn't discipline them. So I'm going to have to pick up their slack. So I go inside and I start thinking up a plot to get him back. All right, so we got the lips here and we're cleaning them up with the eraser tool. And we're moving them with the selection tool. Make sure they're centered on the face. And now we're going to get started on the nose here. Make sure it's like not too thin, not too wide, and just in the right spot. The selection tool is going to help you out a lot so you can just move stuff around. Just be careful to make sure it's on a transparent selection when you go to move stuff around. That way you don't have like a big white box erasing some of your work you've already done. So we got the bridge of the nose there. And now we're going to get started on the eyes. Okay, yeah, so back to my story. I was thinking of a good way to prank this kid back. And I realized that I noticed that he always comes outside to jump on his trampoline in the front yard that they got every day right before it starts to get dark out. So I figure it's only 3 p.m., so I'm going to set a trap for when he comes outside today. So I run to the store and I ask them where the toy section's at. And of course, they're short-staffed as always, so I just go looking for it myself. All right, so we got the eyes in here. We're adding the top of the eyelids. And we're adding the lines under the eyes here. That way you can kind of tell sometimes they have bags under their eyes, but it looks a little nicer than putting like full-on bags there. As you can see, it's taking me a lot of tries because I'm pretty garbage, I'm not gonna lie. All right, so we got that there, looking pretty good. Just moving the nose and lips there to make sure it's in the right spot. And now we're gonna start on the eyebrows here. And I always like to just do kind of like a rough drawing of the eyebrows, and then I can clean it up with the eraser tool. You just want to make sure you get the main shape and try to make sure the width of each eyebrow is, looks appropriate. All right, so that's looking pretty good right there. I'm cleaning up any any messes I made with the eraser tool. And now we're using the spray paint tool to put her hair in. And what you want to do is, you want to make sure it looks proper. Like, don't just click it once. If you have to click it a bunch of times to get the hair darker in certain spots, make sure you do that. But do it evenly all around so their hair doesn't look all patchy. So yeah, back to my story. So I was like, okay, so I went to go look for the toy aisle and I found it myself. And I'm like, okay, I'm in the toy aisle. How should I get him back? Should I do a drive-by on his house with the Nerf gun? Nah. Should I prank him with some fake poop? Nah, that's not fair because he used real poop when he pranked me. Then I seen some water balloons and I'm like, yo, that's perfect. Some good, clean fun. So I buy the water balloons and I headed back home quick because it was starting to get dark soon. All right, so we got the hair started here and we're starting to add in the mohawk, and using the spray paint tool is perfect for this because it kind of like gives it that little, for her hair texture, it just looks proper. And so I'm starting to make it, it's not a perfect mohawk. You can do it like, as you can see, one point is a little taller than the other side. And I'm cleaning things up with the eraser tool here, but I noticed like I took away a little too much of the hair and it didn't look quite right. It looked a little too flat. So I decided to use the spray paint tool, bring some of that back. You always want to have that reference photo next to you while you're drawing so you can always look back at it, make sure everything looks proportional. Oh yeah, so back to my story. So remember how I said I was going to get him back with some good, clean fun? Well, on the way home, I changed my mind, and once I got inside, I decided to fill up the balloons with some cat pee from my cat's litter boxes. I took some duct tape, and I went outside to booby trap my neighbor's front door. So I waited like 30 minutes before he came out, and my plan worked a little too well because when he opened that door to go jump on his trampoline, he actually jumped into a pool of piss and the balloons splashed everywhere, y'all. The look on his face when he realized what just fell on him, it was priceless, bro. But unfortunately for me, I was too busy laughing that I accidentally fell down the concrete stairs of my front porch, and I'm pretty sure I broke one of my ribs. Alright, so just add any final details. I put the name at the bottom, and I like to do my coloring in Microsoft Paint 3D if you have Windows 10, and boom, you got a masterpiece. So make sure to add in your watermark so no one tries to steal your art. If anyone pissed you off this week, tell me about it in the comments below. So long story short, I'm back in the hospital again. I'll update you guys in the next video. If you want to make my day a little better, feel free to hit that like button. And if you haven't yet, subscribe and ring that bell. I make a new art tutorial every week. And if you need art commission done or want to take my online course for how I draw these portraits, links for that are below. Peace.